this afternoon. What we are picking up, this is just a day after India hosted Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister, and this is how Canada reacts. It is allowed another anti-India event to happen on its soil, and this is giving, as far as more teeth to the anti-India stance, the pro-Khalistan stand that we have seen, and this is another anti-India referendum that has been reported from Surrey. As far as this extremist and this terrorist Gurpratwant Singh Pannu is concerned, he seems to be openly calling for balkanization of India, which means breaking down in several fragments, and he's making a call to break India, and he has also directly threatened the Prime Minister, the External Affairs Minister, and also the Home Minister Amit Shah. And this is an out-and-out call that is being made, which even raises the matter and the question as to how and why it is being allowed on the Canadian soil, despite the promises now that have been made by the Canadian Prime Minister himself when he held that bilateral. And of course, Rishabh, as India strongly raised over several of those incidents that have been reported in Canada, however, continues to give them shelter.
Well, definitely, on the day when Prime Minister Narendra Modi literally reprimanded Canada, saying that what you are doing is not correct, it's not diplomatically even suitable, that you are giving space to anti-India elements, Khalistani elements in Canada. Justin Trudeau's response even to Prime Minister was not to the point, and he kept hiding behind rule of law and freedom of expression. But definitely, India has made it very clear to Canada that what is happening in Canada is not correct. Even at the press conference, fearing that Indian journalists will raise questions on Khalistan and Canada's conduct around Khalistan extremism that is now being is a dominant force in Canada. Indian journalists were not allowed at the press conference as well. We had to, confront the press attaché of Canada here in New Delhi, but we weren't allowed there. Canada fear that Indian journalists would have asked question on this, because Canada do not have any answer that can diplomatically settle this issue. For the domestic politics in Canada, Justin Trudeau's government has time and again given space to likes of Pannu to have an anti-India agenda. Yesterday also a referendum was called in Surrey, and initially the permission was sought for 50 to 55,000 people. Though this shows that how how uneasy.
And this is something which is so brazen that is happening on the soil of Canada, and something that has been promised to the Indian government, to the Indian Prime Minister when these concerns were raised.